a very hot topic about team leading, team dynamics, and how to avoid or reduce the turnover of the employees inside your own companies. I know that this is your lunchtime, and therefore I want to be very short and specific because I know how much precious is our break during the working day. And a quick introduction for whoever doesn't know who I am. I'm Stefania Arca. I'm leading international exit strategies. It's a project management agencies, and it helps as well in team leading with your stakeholders in general. So our core principles is based on make stronger your relationships with your people, so clients, teams, and stakeholders in general. And I'm specializing in client management, and hello, I can see some messages. Hi everyone, welcome. Happy to see that you're enjoying the food while you're watching this live. Thank you for being here. So yeah, as I was saying, let's get started immediately. So let's add our slides here. So I want to focus first of all on what you need to have a look at when you are actually hiring the person for your team. Because if the team is working in harmony, it means that you can actually have a better productivity, and all the delivery process is going to be smoother. So my motto today is going to be hire smart and reinforce performance. I know that many of you think that when you are a founder, a CEO, or simply you are the team builder, you think something like, oh, you know, this person has so much potential, but today is not showing it anymore. After a while, just lost interested. And I hope to hear some of your ideas, the thought that you have in your mind. And the result of all of them is just like they do not care. So you all come back to me saying like, I have this team member is amazing, but they simply do not care. So let's see why actually it's happening today, something like this. I would say that the key to keep in mind is the passion. And I know that today you want to hire with the passion hungry, but this is actually a trap. Why? Because most teams start strong. So when you hire, they are amazing. But then during the time, they lose energies and they lose interested. So only few teams start strong and stay in peace during the time. So let's see actually why this is happening. Here I have just put a situation. So in the orange side at the bottom, it's gonna be your initial situation. So you hire someone, this person has made such a wonderful interview, and it's gonna start on Monday, and their energy level is so high. But sooner or later, it could be like 1 week, it could be 1 month, it could be 6 months. Actually, this time is gonna be what I call like the honeymoon phase. So during all this time, the team member actually is asking questions, is trying to understand, is proactive, and it's motivating the other people inside the team, and it's actually showing all the potential that they have. And you feel like, okay, I feel like right now I have hired someone special. But when the honeymoon phase is over, the person is actually going to a comfort zone, the energy level is going to decrease, and simply is what I like to call like separated in-house condition. So it's just like, okay, you have this team member that it's coming to the office, it's very on time, it's arriving at 9, it's leaving at 5, as the contract says. It doesn't bring any energies anymore, it doesn't bring any innovation anymore. You just say, I want this, and the team member does something like this. So all the energy disappear, and you are not happy with the performance anymore. So the first, so let's try to understand why this is happening. The first mistake, number one, that I am seeing every day, is just like people think that every team is going to be the same. And I'm sorry, but it's not anything like that. So you just need to understand what are the specific characteristics of your team. Why? For instance, I am, for whoever doesn't know it, I am an architect and an engineer as well. So I just, during my past experience, I was taking care about buildings in the artistic, creative way as an architect, and then in the more logical and calculation ways as an engineer. If you know a little of neurological science, you know that actually your brain is split between right and left, and one is dedicated to the creativity and the other one is dedicated to the logical. And so if I need to think about my team, if I was dealing with the team of the architects, they were more creative. Exactly. I can see like a comment say like there is just always a different dynamic in each group, in each team, in every environment, and this is exactly my point. So I know that my people were just coming from a very competitive market. They have studied universities. They didn't went to college. They are so inspired by the job, and they want to make the difference. This team is completely different. For instance, if I will need to manage a team in the retail, where the person probably is just interested in the salary, and in this way just want to go in the shop, services the clients, and then go home. In my case, my people were just like, they wanted the challenge and they want to make the difference. Hold on, I'm not saying that architects and engineers do not care about the salary. Of course they do. But it's just like they go to work because they have a sparkle inside that somehow you don't want like to disappear. But in reality, the first question that you need to ask yourself is why this person is leaving this amazing company. Because based on my own experience, if someone is working in an amazing company, is not gonna leave it's not gonna leave the job, you know. It just takes time to be hired in that company. It takes time to get use of the processes internal of the company. The person knows already people inside the companies, and that has already set up their life based on the distance from their home to that office, etc. So generally speaking, it's not always like this, but generally speaking, when someone is leaving a company, means that actually there is something in the company that didn't like. So if you think to replicate the same condition in your company, there is a kind of disalignment between your expectation and your team members' expectations, because the team member wants to change job because want to have a different condition, and at the same time can't give you what is your needs, because can't provide them anymore. Otherwise, you were staying just in their comfort zone in the previous company. And at the same time, another thing that you need to look is I had this conversation last week with this team leader. She was telling me that right now they are hiring someone new, and she was saying something very peculiar, and I was with her at all 100%. So she says that many of the people her bosses were looking at were just coming from very important companies. But she said, in my case, I need a person that is able to be flexible, because we have companies in North America, here in London, in India, and so on. So the condition between these different offices, okay, they are always related with us because we are part of the same companies, but internally they are referring to North American laws, requirements, lifestyle, and so on. So I need someone flexible. And the thing that I need here is exactly the attitude. So hire based on the attitude and not based on what was in the past. Because if the person is changing the past, coming to you, means that the past was not working for that team member anymore. So the question is now how to keep motivation high, because as we have seen at the beginning, you have the honeymoon with a high energy, the motivation is very high, and then it drops down. So how to keep this motivation high? Once it's hurried, you have this cycle. So the person is gonna practice the task, and then there's gonna be some feedback. Many business owners just do not rely on the feedbacks. They think that the feedbacks, like the annual review, is just something to do because it's good practice, because it's just required by the law, because maybe your ISO, your certification is just asking anything like that, because maybe your HR is asking the feedback. And so many times people are not actually listening to feedbacks. So feedbacks are like released every day. They could happen also as body language, even if someone is going to be silent during a meeting. It's again a form of feedback, but black and white, you have the annual review. So just keep always an eye on the feedback, and just try to adapt the next step based on the feedback. So the next step is going to be the mastery. So you have the person, the team member is gonna do some practice, is gonna have some feedback. Based on the feedback, is gonna improve the practice, is gonna master the practice, and then is gonna gain motivation. With motivation here, I mean something like, I feel like I have done whatever I was supposed to do. Or like, I feel like right now I can master these new skills. I mean, feeling the team member needs to feel proud of themselves. Only when the team member feels proud, that's the only moment where the motivation is going to be high for the next task assigned. So this is just another cycle where I have just put some more information, but the principle is going to be the same. So the previous one is just the concept, and here just like a little more detailed. So usually a team member face these challenges. So you're going to assign a task to the team member. They are going to try to do the task. There's going to be always some struggles. It doesn't mean necessarily that they don't know how to do their job, but it could also be that they need to adapt to your company's procedure. When they're going to be the struggle, the next phase is going to be having some result. They could be positive or negative, but there's going to be some results. Even if you don't get any result because of the struggle, it means that it's going to always be a feedback for you. So you just need to solve something over there in the struggles. And when you get the struggles, actually, you receive the feedbacks. So it's just what I was saying. Feedback are like spread all over the office every day. And these feedbacks could be positive or negative. If it's negative, you just come back to some previous steps. It could be try, it could be struggle. And this is the idea. Once you're gonna receive some positive feedbacks, so in that moment, you're going to have an improvement and a gain of confidence. Once the person is going to feel like more proud of themselves, more confident, he's ready for starting the next task. And this challenge, at least in my type of teams where people are very motivated, it works. With this confidence, they are ready for starting the next task. If the first task is only a struggle, they keep feeling lost. They are not willing to start the next task, and so the task number 2, you are gonna just have the energy dropping down, and the productivity and the delivery outcome is not going to be good as expected at all. So this is just like my suggestion. You just need to try to make feel people they are needed and not just a number. So here I have just give you like a summary of everything. So don't chase passion, but reinforce performance. Because I'm just gonna go 1 second on the next slide just to express this concept. In this book, you are going to find some suggestions for the team member. So this is a book written, it's a modern book, it's really recent, so it's really like easygoing, and you're gonna have also audiobook. I didn't want to put any manual, anything too technical, because I just want that you're gonna enjoy your improvements. So this book I think is perfect, but keep in mind that it's written for the employees. But if you're smart enough, you can just read it on your own way. So if you know what your employees are looking, you can understand as a consequence of what actually you need to do for your people. So this book, there is a part that it's at the beginning. It's very interesting, and it's like the core principle of all the book. It just says The title is so good they can't ignore you. And he suggests this thing. If everyone are following only the passion, it means that everyone are gonna be like singer, politicians, amazing people, and something like that. But the reality, just like society is variegated, and there are people that actually enjoy like the small things that happens every day. So how these people actually love their small jobs. They like it so much because what happened was just like they started one job, they didn't have an expectation, probably they were also very young, maybe they were their 20s, and the boss just told them just do this. So the boss assigned them a task. They didn't have an expectation, they didn't know anything about the job, but actually so they have done the task. And once they have done the task, the boss come back to them and just say, great job, well done, and I'm gonna assign you a next task. This thank you, well done, great job, etc. The book says that raise the confidence in the person, and actually the person feels like their days have a meaning. And the more they goes in this cycle, the more they get passionate about something they never had thought they could like it. So how many times you have a talk with friends or anyone in your family, and they were just saying something like, I really love my job, even though I never had thought that this could have been my way. And in reality, people likes and have motivation when they are able to do something, when they are able to like when they feel good, when they feel good in doing the task. Usually it's said that if you don't like something, in reality it's because you don't know how to do it. So in this way, you can understand how you need to treat your people. If the people needs to feel good, it means that somehow you need to challenging them. You need to feel like they're gonna have some kind of rewards after. You need to make them feeling like they are not just a number. They are people and they are needed, and you can't actually ignore them. They are needed for your companies. This is the secret for keeping the motivation of a team member very high. And so for just coming back to the previous slide that we have very quickly skipped. So this is some kind of steps that you need to follow when you choose a team member to hire. The first one is the clarity. So you need to have very clear in your mind who you're looking at and what you expect from that person. Remember, you always need to have an alignment between your expectation and your new team member expectations as well. Secondly, the role. The role needs to be clear, needs to be really well defined. So stop mixing up roles. Don't hire someone with a title or promising a type of task, and then I have this deadline, so I need one extra person. Okay, you can take my person from this team. This is not gonna work in the long term. If one person is hurried for being like, I'm gonna try to do an example. I am specialized in facades as an architect facades, so it means like only the exterior part of of the building. It could happen that maybe so you're gonna do the role like as a facade architect, and that's fine. My focus is fully on facade, and then you have a deadline, and you call me for covering a part of the internal stairs. I mean, it doesn't work for me because my focus is in something else. So I can just help the other team once. I can do it twice, but the third time it's not gonna work for me anymore, and it's more like that I'm gonna look for another office, another firm where they can actually appreciate me. This is what people are saying every time they want to look for the job. I want to look for another companies that actually is appreciating me. So have a clear role and don't mix up just to covering your the holes in your deadlines. How do you do that? With a good management of your timeline, of the budget, of the resources, and with setting proper boundaries with your clients. Another step that you need to follow is going to be the feedback. So those are very important because every person is different. So whatever is going to work for one person doesn't mean like it's going to work also for another team member of the same team. So please listen to your people. As I said before, for example, avoiding a catch up with you is a feedback. It means like they do not really care about what you have to say or you don't have to say. You're not building any kind of relationship. You are just building friction between you and your team member. Another thing could be as well like being silent. So you are expecting someone to be proactive, to make questions during a meeting, anything like that. Instead, they are not caring about you and they stay silent. This is another type of feedback, but there are really so many, like sending a message instead of calling, or like avoiding, also like including or not in the emails you or other team members. I mean, there are really so many types of sign. If you want to know more, I mean, we can go in one session. It's free and we can have a look at them. But yeah, I mean, there are so many forms of feedbacks. Another things that you need to give to your team member is autonomy. So they need to test a process. So remember before when we were saying like try, struggle, and get some result. They need to test, because if you're gonna be behind them step after step, they are never gonna improve their skills. They are never gonna be develop any problem solving skills, and in the long term, I mean, they are not even trying. They are just relating every time on you. And you need to do your job plus their job, at least their planning. And this is not gonna work. It's gonna be like a very toxic wheel. And then as a last one, accountability. So you need to make these people, for instance, like I'm referring to my team member types, accountable for their part of the job. So I know that as a team leader, it's your responsibilities. If something goes wrong, if there is any misunderstanding or anything like that. But at the same time, so you need to make them accountable, because if they don't feel like responsible for something, sooner or later their energies just drop down completely. And yeah, so I just want to leave you with this book. But if you want to have more reading suggestions, so please let me know. This is just like a very quick class for trying to reduce the turnover of your company, the employee turnover, and at the same time improving your delivery process, because actually the team is working better when there is the synergies between them. This live is 30 minutes. There is still time for some QAs. Okay, yeah, I can see the messages are like, of course, yeah, the team members, everyone is unique, as we were saying, and so you just absolutely need to think how to treat any one of them. As I repeat once more, whatever is working for one person, it doesn't mean like it's going to work for the other one, even though the background is the same, but every person is unique, and you need to like catch them. So yeah, always listen to your people and consider your environment as well. We have another comment. Leadership is all about how you in your role influence people, and I think that's the biggest difference between managing and leading people. Yeah, I mean, the problem is just like, if you don't earn their trust, it doesn't mean, I mean, they are not gonna see you as a leader. And the first one that needs to do something is yourself. So you as a leader, you just need to do the first move. Oh, thank you. The comment, and we have another comment. This was great. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to you, of course. And it's true also that managing and leading are two different things. But in any case, if you are a leader, you need to manage your people as well. And it's in the middle. So if your managing is completely wrong, and you're asking people something that they can't actually do, it doesn't matter if you're gonna say, I had been good in doing this, so I mean, find inspiration in my past. People can't do it at all. This is the only secret for try to avoiding micromanagement. So if you're gonna get them responsible, so if you're gonna get them accountable for their own work, if you make them with autonomy, they are gonna follow you as a leader after, and you don't need to manage them anymore. If you need to manage them, and if you need to go in the micromanagement, it means that they don't have any autonomy and they don't have any accountability as well. Okay, I can't see any more comments here. I just want to leave you half hour of your lunch break free. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, please contact me or keep leaving comments. I'm gonna receive a LinkedIn notification, so I can always answer as a text, as a comment. Yeah, otherwise just DM me, and I will be more than happy in help you out. Rodica, thank you so much for being here as well. Thank you so much for the lovely comment. This is really great. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a lovely lunch, and see you next week with our next live.